Just letting you guys know you can listen to my No Bleeps podcast anywhere you stream podcasts or on my No Bleeps YouTube channel. Link in the description. Hey guys, it's Spilly and welcome back to Spill Sesh. Today we have got to talk about the fact that Trisha Paytas is calling out Jeffree Star and Hair by Jay and Dawson and Ryland. Over the weekend, it came out that Hair by Jay was once again officially working with Jeffree Star. Obviously, people have been speculating this for a very long time, ever since Jeffree claimed that he fired and was no longer working with Hair by Jay after the entire drama with him and Trisha. And a lot of people have just basically felt like he tried to make a statement that made it seem like him and Jay were not working together, when in reality, he was going to continue to work with Jay, no matter what people were saying. A lot of fans were disappointed that Jeffree had someone working for him that would speak so poorly of someone, because the things that Hair by Jay were saying about Trisha on Instagram Live were just so bad, just completely shaming her in every way, shape, and form. And for Jeffree to employ someone like that, people did not like that, and so he had to come out and say that he was no longer working with him. But soon enough, it started to seem like Jeffree was actually working with him. Jeffree was just not tagging him in any Instagram photos, and then Jay began to appear in IGTV videos that later Jeffree ended up deleting. I don't know if he deleted them because people saw Jay in it, and then he was like, oh, I can't blow my cover that I'm working with Jay, and so he deleted it. But then recently he refollowed Hair by Jay on Instagram, and Jay is literally posting photos of him and Jeffree working together again on his Instagram story, and he's mocking the entire situation by doing #fired. Like, what is that? When I saw this, I was just like, one, wow, they're really working together. And Jay honestly has no shame about the situation whatsoever, clearly mocking it. But he's also not even fazed by the fact that people were wondering if Jeffree was going to fire him in the first place, because he proudly was going on Instagram Live and being like, yeah, we're still working together. Like, I just did his hair, like, basically, like, get with the picture.
Yes, we good. I just did his hair today. Go pay attention. Stop asking me questions. Yes, we're good. I just did his hair today. Did you guys not see the mint wig? Why aren't we good? We follow each other on IG. Nothing has changed.
Obviously, he has to know about the drama going on, and I feel like his attitude is a big reflection of what Jeffree is probably telling him in real life. If Jeffree is like, don't even worry about it, like, I'm not gonna fire you, this is gonna all blow over, then he's gonna have the attitude of, this is whatever, like, let's joke about me being fired. And so I think a lot of people are starting to realize that Jeffree's employees are a reflection of him, and the people that he surrounds himself with very much do represent him and his entire brand. And it's not a good look for him to be working with someone that people have been begging him to fire because of how disrespectful they have been. And so in Trisha's case, she saw this and she went on her TikTok and she was going to call it out. She was not messing around. She was fired up, and rightfully so, because Jay said really, really terrible things to her. And she made a point in this to say that, yes, Jay said those things, but Jeffree allowed those things to be said. Jay wouldn't be talking like that about Trisha if Jeffree was not also speaking about her that way. If Jay had made one nasty comment about Trisha on their trip to Vegas and Jeffree was a good friend and had been like, don't speak about her like that, you would never hear another comment out of Jay. Not a single word, because he is employed by Jeffree Star. And if Jeffree Star wasn't going to allow him to speak that way, he was going to keep his check. That is for sure. So for Jay to get on Instagram Live and confidently talk badly about Trisha, confidently joke about how people wanted him to get fired, it's just very clear the way that Jeffree and him are probably talking about it behind the scenes.
So everyone's been tagging me in this about Jeffree still using Hair by Jay. Obviously he is. Jeffree's the one who said all those vile things. Jay was just stupid enough to repeat and confirm it online because he's his little minion. But Jeffree is also just as vile, so obviously trash is going to keep trash. He was just trying to save face for a couple days, I guess.
And another thing that people found interesting is that on Jeffree's latest Instagram post, because he's launching new products, Jeffree has a launch literally, it seems like, every single month now at this point, but he has a new launch coming out, and when he got his hair and makeup done on Instagram, he did not tag Hair by Jay, he tagged someone else. So I don't know if he's still trying to make it seem like, at least on his Instagram page, at least to his followers, that he is no longer working with Hair by Jay, but is on the low refollowing Hair by Jay, and Hair by Jay is posting him. But if you look through some of Jeffree Star's tagged photos, one of his photographers for his cosmetics company is tagging him in photos where Hair by Jay just did his wig. So this whole situation is such a mess. Honestly, there are a lot of Jeffree Star fans that have hung on for a very, very long time and stuck to this whole concept of Jeffree Star has changed. Jeffree Star is a different person. He's not like his past. He wouldn't say things like that. He's not some mean girl anymore. And he's even making videos saying that he's changed and that he's not a mean girl and wants to be out of drama. Well, here you go. He's working with Hair by Jay. There's literally no denying that he's allowing this type of behavior in his life. He's very clearly still choosing to be a part of the drama, and there's literally no denying that at this point. But moving on to what Trisha had to say about Shane and Ryland. I mean, she decided that she was going to cover the fact that Ryland has this tea merch now. We talked about it recently in a video, but Ryland Adams got on his podcast, The Sip, to basically say that he's going to rebrand his entire podcast because he's going from talking about pop culture and celebrity news to not talking about that stuff. He wants it to be positive because he's realized he has this tea podcast, but he doesn't want to be in the tea himself or address any of the tea or the drama that he is in. So he's deciding to rebrand his entire podcast to avoid all of that entirely. He doesn't want to be a tea channel, even though his merchandise is a tea bag and he's selling teacups. It doesn't make sense because he chose to launch this merch the same day as the rebrand, and Trisha found it equally as confusing.
Ryland on his new podcast saying he's done talking about tea, even though his podcast is called The Sip, because he hates it when people talk about him and Shane. Also, the Sip merch is the kind of merch that literally makes me cringe. What is it? What does it mean? Why do you have a tea bag if you're rebranding and no longer spelling tea?
I said in my video previously that I feel like it's because they planned it way ahead of time and they decided to still come out with it, but Trisha decided to point that out. She did not like it at all, and she also pointed out that he's clearly working with Killer Merch, which is Jeffree Star's merchandise company, and it's just clearer and clearer every single time that Shane and Ryland, they're working with Jeffree still, and they're also, you know, getting money from him. So they chose to stay with Jeffree for monetary values, it seems to Trisha. And to her, that's extremely disappointing.
These are the people that Shane and Ryland continue to support for that dollar. Ryland and merch using Jeffree's merch company. But okay, cool. Trash recognized trash. Devil plays with devil. Cool.
I think anyone can relate to the fact that it would feel really bad if someone that you thought was your friend for so many years decided to choose money over being a loyal friend to you and protecting you and defending your name against someone who's let people say bad things about you. And I know that all around, it's just not a good look for anyone. It's not a good look for Ryland. It's not a good look for Shane. It's not a good look for Jeffree. This whole thing. I really don't understand some of the decisions that they've been making recently. Like, there's some seriously easy solutions to a lot of the things that people are upset about. Like, they are real easy fixes. Don't work with a mean person. Don't associate yourself with someone who is mean, who doesn't care about other people's feelings. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's not like they depend on Hair by Jay to make money at all. It's the other way around. Jeffree has a lot of money. He could definitely work with someone else. Shane and Ryland, they have a ton of money together. They live in a multi-million-dollar home, first of all. They clearly don't need Jeffree to make money. They've made money without Jeffree before. Or they could just come out and say, hey, we don't like what Jeffree is saying about Trisha. We don't like what he's doing, the people that he's associating himself with. But instead, only Ryland is going to be like, we didn't know how Trisha felt. And also, we don't support anything that Hair by Jay did. Not a word about Jeffree Star. Not a word. You cannot talk bad or mention the name of the person that is helping you sell your tea merch. It's very clear the situation is something that they do not want to get out of, because if they wanted to get out of the drama, they could get out of the drama, but they're choosing to stay in it because they're choosing to stay in their little problematic bubble. And it's only getting worse for them, honestly, as time goes on, because, well, Shane is in hiding. Jeffree just keeps on repeating the same things over and over again. And Ryland is kind of stuck in the middle because Shane is his fiance, but him and Shane are both choosing to be friends with Jeffree over Trisha. He's choosing to work with him for merchandise. He's having Jeffree on his podcast. He's speaking on him and Shane's behalf. It's a mess. It's messy for everyone. And I definitely want to know what you guys think about this situation. Trisha says she will never, ever, ever, ever be friends with these guys again.
Never hang out with these two people again if you paid me $1 million.
I know a lot of people do not blame her for saying that, but I want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.